welcome to the Annunciation Marble Arch Sunday School. I'm Jasmine.
Sophia.
This is Sophia.
I'm Martin, hello.
Hope you all had a good week. Let's get ourselves ready to worship. Let's get the wriggles out of us. I know a lot of us have spent a lot of time indoors, so we probably want to get out our energy. We can do that later when we start jumping around with all the songs, but let's have a moment of calm before we have a prayer. So let's take a couple of deep breaths. So breathe in and out. And again, breathe in and out. So thank you, Lord, that once again you've brought us together to worship you at Sunday School. We thank you for the Bible story that we're going to hear today of Jesus feeding the 5,000. A very famous story, Lord, that shows that we're never too small to make a difference, Lord, that you can do great things through little people like those watching and joining us today. So help us remember that in the week ahead, that you are always with us, always bless us, and we can indeed do great things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. In Him I trust, in Him I trust. The Lord is my light and my salvation. In Him I trust, in Him I trust. Great, let's start with our first song. We can start being a bit more active now. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and love all humankind as you would love yourself, and love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and mind, and love all people, 'cause we've got Christian lives to live. We've got Jesus love to give, and we've got nothing to hide, because in Him we all abide. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and love all humankind as you would love yourself, and love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and mind, and love all people, 'cause we've got Christian lives to live. We've got Jesus love to give, and we've got nothing to hide, because in Him we all abide. Great, so this is our first Sunday School of February. We're already into the second month of the year. It's the shortest month of the year, so it means it will go more quickly than all the others do. Although this week is quite an exciting week. We've got Chinese New Year coming up on Friday.
Valentine's?
That's at the weekend. So,
Pancake.
coming up, not this week. So next Sunday actually is our Valentine's, but we've got the week beforehand. Sophia finishes school on Thursday, so half term is coming up. So lots to look forward to, and we praise Lord and thank Him for all our blessings. So we hope you've had a good week. We're going to sing some more songs. Let's sing our Hello Everyone welcome song. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome to our church. Jesus loves us. Jesus loves us. Jesus loves us. He loves us very much. God is with us. God is with us. God is with us. He's with us all the day. So hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome to our church. Sophia's right though, Pancake Day is pretty soon actually. This is the second Sunday before Lent.
I thought half term was next week.
Yes, the half term is the week after next, but you do finish on Thursday. You've got an inset day on Friday, as perhaps some of you might as well. So yes, it's very soon, and hopefully you can get outside a bit more. Spring is of course on its way, and we can. It doesn't always feel like that at the moment, but it is indeed coming. So indeed, let's let's continue, and we are going to light our candle at this stage. So if you have your candle at home, do get it ready, and your match or your lighter to light it. Of course, representing the light of the world, which is Christ himself. And he also asks us to be his light in the world.
What is that?
A lovely symbol. Lots of themes this year have been light in the darkness, because it's been a dark year, hasn't it? And it's still continuing to be, but we are seeing the light at the end of a tunnel. So let's put that down safely somewhere. And then while we do that with the real candle, we will make our own candle, as it were, with our hands, or make the shape of a candle with our hands. As we say together, we light this candle.
We light this candle
To help us think.
To help us think
About the light of God.
about the light of God
Shining around the world.
shining around the world,
And especially at Sunday school.
and especially at Sunday school.
And then we bring our hands down and we say our prayer. We say, Dear Lord,
Dear Lord,
thank you for bringing us together at Sunday school.
thank you for bringing us together at Sunday school.
Please bless us
Please bless us
and help us to learn more about your work.
and help us to learn more about your work.
Amen.
Amen.
And then before we go into our Bible story, we'll sing this is our very jumpy song, if you want it to be. So we're going to make it start slow and quiet, and then we keep repeating it. Of course, it's Jesus' great commandments to love ourselves and to love other people as much as ourselves. So we get quicker and more jumpy, and then we're jumping around at the end. Love God with all your heart. Love God with all your heart. Love everyone else as much as yourself. Love God with all your heart. Love God with all your heart. Love God with all your heart. Love everyone else as much as yourself. Love God with all your heart. Love God with all your heart. Love God with all your heart. Love everyone else as much as yourself. Love God with all your heart. Love God with all your heart. Love God with all your heart. Love everyone else as much as yourself. Love God with all your heart. Dong! We're going to go into our Bible story, which is the feeding of the 5,000. It's a very famous story, so you may already know it. So it's also, we're using the Line Bible version here, which is the one we use in church, and they call it the Big Picnic, which is a nice title for it as well. So God gave Jesus a special job to help bad people become good. Jesus performed amazing miracles, and he taught people God's message that God loves us. So we've been studying over the past weeks some of Jesus' miracles. He brought back to life Jairus' daughter. He made blind Bartimaeus see. So he performed lots of healings and miracles. So God's message was that we should say sorry for the bad things we've done and follow his rules to love one another, which is what we just sang. Jesus said that if we all followed God's rules, earth would be just like heaven. Then God's kingdom would have been created on earth. And what a lovely thing that would be if everyone loved each other as much as they loved themselves. That would probably put an end to all evil, because everyone generally loves themselves, but they often love themselves more than love other people, which makes them selfish and leads to acts which aren't to the benefit of everyone. Jesus told us to love God with all our heart. This means we only worship God, not money, fame, beauty, or other things. So that's not wanting when other kids come in with toys that they've got. It's not envying them and not wanting other things. Of course, but just following God's commandments and worshipping the Lord. We only say God's name when we talk to him or praise him. We go to church on Sunday and we obey God's rules. So all of this is summed up with loving God with all our heart. Jesus told us to love everyone else as much as we love ourselves. This means we need to treat other people the way that we would like to be treated. So we do not hurt other people, we do not steal, we do not tell lies, we are not jealous, and we respect the special people in our life, like our parents and our husband or our wife when we're older. So we need to treat others kindly and caring, by helping them, by sharing, by being honest. Again, as we said, summed up by loving everyone else as much as you love yourself, which is why it's such an important lesson. We sing it each week. One day, a very big crowd of people came to listen to Jesus. All day, Jesus told them lots of parables, stories about God and his rules. Again, we've often done lots of parables in our Sunday school. They're all the stories that Jesus told to give them a lesson. Now it was getting late. Everyone was tired and hungry, but they were out in the hills in a lonely place. So these people had been listening hard to Jesus all day, and now they were hungry. The special friends came to Jesus and said, "It's late. The people need to go to the villages nearby and get some food." But Jesus said, "They don't need to leave. Give them something to eat." So Jesus asked the disciples, his special friends, to feed these 5,000 people. The disciples were surprised. There were more than 5,000 people in the crowd. Philip said, "We can't buy food for them. We don't have enough money. There are too many people." So we call it the feeding of the 5,000, but actually that was probably only the men that was counted, and there were also women and children, so there were even more than 5,000 people. So there are too many people for the disciples to feed themselves. "Ask if the people have any bread," said Jesus. So Jesus' special friends went round the great big crowd asking, "Have you got any bread? Have you got any bread?" But the people shook their heads. No one had any bread, and except for one small boy who had some food for his dinner. Andrew took him to Jesus. "This boy has 5 bread rolls and 2 small fish, but they won't go far among all these people." So will those 5 bread rolls and 2 fish feed the crowd? No, unless a miracle happens. The little boy was very hungry. He looked down at his dinner, then he looked up at Jesus. Without a word, he held out his bread and fish for Jesus to take. So this little boy has followed God's rules because he's sharing his food, even though he's hungry. Jesus smiled at him, and the little boy felt so happy. He had done the right thing. Jesus thanked God for the bread and the fish to eat. So we should always give thanks to God for the things we have. So some of you may do grace before you have your meals. We do at home, just thanking God because, of course, there are lots of people in the world without food. So we have to give thanks for our daily blessings. After that, Jesus broke the bread and fish in pieces. Then he shared it with the disciples. Then the disciples broke the bread and fishes in pieces, and they shared them with the people. The little boy couldn't believe his eyes. Every one of those people got a share. Not just a crumb. Everyone had as much food as they wanted. And then Jesus' special friends filled 12 baskets with leftovers. So they had plenty of food, and more than enough. There were even leftovers. So this was indeed a big miracle. Jesus said to us, "Everyone needs bread to eat, but you need me even more." So to be really happy, we need to listen to God's message. We need to say sorry for the bad things we've done and follow God's rules to love one another. So what a wonderful story, one of the most famous stories, and one involving a young child. Just showing, yes, like you, or you back at home, because God works through little people as well as older people. He works through everyone. So never feel that you're too little to make a difference. Often you can tell your mummies and daddies a thing or two, and you can pull them up short, and actually they can think, "Oh yes, you're right." I often find that anyway. So yes, never be scared to say what you think God is telling you, because often God will speak to you, and he may not speak in the same way to your adults necessarily. So yes, so all the things that you're learning from the Bible stories, and they all go into your heart, and and that's feel free to say those messages that you've learnt. If you see someone doing something wrong in the playground, bullying somebody, not being nice to somebody, you can step in and say, hang on, I've been told that Jesus says we should love everybody, which means everyone in a class is valid and equal, and we should be nice to everyone. Let's sing a song about this story. It's by Mary Rice Hopkins, and it's called Little is Much. So it starts by telling the story that we've just heard, yes, and then it goes into a chorus called Little is Much. So it says, Jesus was preaching to 5,000 one day, and of course we can't do 5,000, so I'm just going to do 5. Tune goes like this. We'd be here for a long time if we did 5,000. Jesus was preaching to 5,000 one day. Again, Jesus was preaching to 5,000 one day. Then the disciples said, Lord, send them away. Then the disciples said, Lord, send them away. Again, then the disciples said, Lord, send them away. 5 loaves and 2 fish is all that there is to eat. 5 loaves and 2 fish is all that there is to eat. Again, 5 loaves and 2 fish is all that there is to eat. Then Jesus blessed the snack and it became a feast. Jesus blessed the snack and it became a feast. Again, Jesus blessed the snack and it became a feast. So Jesus, of course, would not have done it. This is what the priest does in the church. At the end of the service, we get blessed as we're leaving. And when you're going up to Mass, if you're when you don't take Mass and the priest will bless you, we are blessed because Jesus died for us on the cross. But I'm going to do that because it's a simple way for us to say a blessing. Yes, so let's try that. That's our verse. Let's just try that from the top. And Jesus was preaching to 5,000 one day. Then the disciples said, Lord, send them away. 5 loaves and 2 fish is all that there is to eat. Jesus blessed the snack and it became a feast. So again, the disciples didn't have faith. They said, but there's only this small amount of food. We're never going to feed all these people. But actually,
it's too fast for me.
It's too fast for you? What is?
The song.
The song. Oh, we're going to sing it again.
I can slow it down.
And do you mean it's too fast to sing, or it's too fast for you to take in at once?
Too fast to sing.
Oh, is it? Okay, we can try and slow it down.
Exactly what you're saying. Sometimes if
yes,
people
exactly.
can tell us,
Maybe
we
just
can
slow it down, and then maybe we'll have take in the message more if you sing it slowly. We can do that. Yeah, we're going to go into our chorus, which says, "Little is much when He lives in your heart," like this. Little is much when He lives in your heart. Again, little is much when He lives in your heart. A little is much when you know who you are. Little is much when you know who you are. Again, little is much when you know who you are. Then we repeat, little is much when He lives in your heart. Little is much. So we're saying here that when Jesus is in you, you can do a lot with very little. So just because you're little, you're a young person, doesn't mean you can't make a difference. And yes, we can all make a difference, no matter how small. There's no point thinking, oh well, if I throw that piece of litter on the ground, it's just one bit of litter. But all of these things accumulate, so that makes a difference. So actually, you saying, no, I'm going to pick that piece of litter up, I'm not going to throw that away, that does make a difference, because if everybody did their bit, that makes a big difference, doesn't it? So so never think you are too small or young to make a difference. So we can do a lot through the power of Jesus. In fact, we can only do a lot through the power of Jesus. So let's try the chorus. Little is much when He lives in your heart. Little is much when you know who you are. Little is much when He lives in your heart. Little is much, and again. Little is much when He lives in your heart. Little is much when you know who you are. Little is much when He lives in your heart. Little is much. So just slow it down at the end there. So that when it says little is much when you know who you are, that's being kind of strong in your identity and not following the crowd, but just being bold enough to stand up for your convictions, stand up for your beliefs, and say, no, I don't think this is right, even if everyone else says something is right. You say, no, actually, I disagree. So always be prepared, especially as Christians. Not everyone is a Christian. Some people have different views about things, and actually you might be the only one standing up saying, especially if if there's a child that's not it often sometimes happens in schools that one child is singled out for being different, and it's your job to say, actually that just because they're different doesn't matter. They're still equally loved by God, and we need to be nice to them as well. Something similar situations like that happen all the time. So you have to be brave enough to stand up for to be the light, as we said, to be Christ's light in this world of darkness. Right, let's try that from the top. We sing the verse and we sing the chorus twice, slow it down at the end. Jesus was preaching to 5,000 one day. Then the disciples said, Lord, send them away. 5 loaves and 2 fishes, all that there is to eat. Jesus blessed the snack and it became a feast. Little is much when he lives in your heart. Little is much when you know who you are. Little is much when he lives in your heart. Little is much. Little is much when he lives in your heart. Little is much when you know who you are. Little is much when he lives in your heart. Little is much. Great! So then we're going to do our 3 songs that we already know from our repertoire at Sunday school. I thought we'd do Thank You, Lord, for this new day, which talks about thanking the Lord for food to eat, which is what Jesus does before he shares the food. He gives thanks to the Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for this new day. Thank you, Lord, for this new day. Thank you, Lord, for this new day. Right where we are. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Right where we are. Thank you, Lord, for food to eat. Thank you, Lord, for food to eat. Thank you, Lord, for food to eat. Right where we are. Thank you, Lord, for clothes to wear. Thank you, Lord, for clothes to wear. Thank you, Lord, for clothes to wear. Right where we are. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Right where we are. Thank you, Lord, for all your gifts. Thank you, Lord, for all your gifts. Thank you, Lord, for all your gifts. Right where we are. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Right where we are. And of course, it doesn't have to be things like food and clothes. Also, I always give thanks for my family, and so I'm sure you do too, for your mummies and daddies, all those that you love, nanas and granddads. As we pray for them, we often probably can't see them. We can't see our Sophia's nana and granddad at the moment, but we keep them in our prayers, and we thank God that they're still here with us down the phone line. We can still speak to them. Alright, I thought we'd do When I Needed a Neighbour now, which again talks about how God is there when I was hungry and thirsty, which again in our reading today, in our story today, we had all that crowd, and they were hungry after they'd had a whole day of teaching by Jesus. When I needed a neighbour. When I needed a neighbour, were you there? Were you there? When I needed a neighbour, were you there? And the creed and the colour and the name won't matter, were you there? I was creed and the colour and the name won't matter, were you there? I was cold, I was naked, were you there? Were you there? I was cold, I was naked, were you there? And the creed and the colour and the name won't matter, were you there? When I needed a shelter, were you there? Were you there? When I needed a shelter, were you there? And the creed and the colour and the name won't matter, were you there? When I needed a healer, were you there? Were you there? When I needed a healer, were you there? And the creed and the colour and the name won't matter, were you there? Wherever you travel, I'll be there, I'll be there. Wherever you travel, I'll be there. And the creed and the colour and the name won't matter, I'll be there. So that's God in reply to our question, were you there when I was feeling down, Lord? And his answer is yes, I was there. I got you through it. You are now here, and at that time you were down, I was there, and now you have passed it. And that's of course what we're praying is going to happen now. That next year we're going to look back and think, gosh, can you remember 2020 and 21 and how God was actually with us all the way through, and that we come out the other side. Let's finish with the whole world in his hands. The last verse of this is how God's got everybody here in his hands. In our story, he had all of those 5,000 people. The disciples were saying, Lord, these people, there's too many people. They need to go home and we just look after ourselves. But Jesus says, no, we're going to look after everybody here, and everyone's going to have food and food enough to eat and fill their tummies. So God has everyone in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the rivers and the mountains in his hands. He's got the rivers and the mountains in his hands. He's got the rivers and the mountains in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the oceans and the seas in his hands. He's got the oceans and the seas in his hands. He's got the oceans and the seas in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the sun and the clouds in his hands. He's got the sun and the clouds in his hands. He's got the sun and the clouds in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the wind and the rain in his hands. He's got the wind and the rain in his hands. He's got the wind and the rain in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the moon and the stars in his hands. He's got the moon and the stars in his hands. He's got the moon and the stars in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got everybody here in his hands. He's got everybody here in his hands. He's got everybody here in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Great, so let's end with the prayer that Jesus himself taught us, the Lord's Prayer. So let's get ourselves back into our prayer mode, back into talking to God. What a privilege it is that we can talk to God as our Father. Our Father,
Our Father,
who art in heaven,
who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy
Thy
kingdom come.
thy will be done,
Thy will be done,
in earth as it is in heaven.
in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our trespasses,
and forgive us our trespasses,
as we forgive those
as we forgive
who
those
trespass against us.
who trespass against us.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
the power and the glory,
power and the glory,
forever and ever.
forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
So So we hope you have a blessed week. We will see you for Valentine's Day next Sunday. Take care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.